Hey everyone, I'm Claire, and I'd like to share a part of my life story with you. Unfortunately, it revolves around dealing with challenging in laws and my soon to be ex husband. Although I'm in the process of getting a divorce, I thought it would be worth sharing my experience for those of you who may be facing constant criticism from your in laws without any apparent reason. Let me take you back to when Zane, my now ex husband, and I first met through a dating site. At the time, I was a 19-year-old college student, while Zane, age 25, had a stable job. Despite the age gap, we fell in love. Personally, I never judge people based on age or appearance, so Zane's age was never an issue for me. However, he struggled with the age difference, constantly questioning why I chose to be with him. Zane would express his concerns, saying, "Why are you with me, Claire? I just don't understand. I'm so much older than you. You could do much better with guys your age." In response, I assured him that age didn't matter to me, emphasizing that I loved him for who he was. Yet he remained skeptical, grappling with self-esteem issues that stemmed from his age and single status. Throughout our relationship, I made every effort to show him my love. Despite being a college student with limited finances, I never allowed Zane to spend money on me. I worked part-time jobs and used the earnings to buy him gifts and cover my expenses. Despite my gestures, Zane's low self-esteem persisted, and he couldn't fathom that I genuinely loved him. Despite my unwavering support and understanding, his persistent doubts about my love broke my heart during the first 2 years of our relationship. I couldn't comprehend the reason behind Zane's persistently low self-esteem until I had the opportunity to meet his parents. The revelation came when I encountered Zane's dad, Michael, a hardworking man who, at one point, struck luck and won the lottery, transforming their lives. They purchased an extravagant house and secured the rest of the money in an account for a comfortable future. However, the issue lay in Michael and his wife, Molly's belief that they were superior to others. On our initial meeting, Michael proudly asserted, "Not everyone can make it big like me. I worked hard, and look where it got me." Winning a substantial lottery on the first try is incredibly rare. They continually emphasized their exceptional decision-making abilities, claiming that Zane, despite completing college, would never achieve financial success like them. Their disdain for Zane's past relationships was evident as they implied that his partners were gold diggers who left as soon as accused of being greedy. Despite Zane's accomplishments, Molly and Michael's condescending attitude fueled his insecurities. Witnessing Molly and Michael's disparaging remarks about Zane stirred my frustration. They not only insinuated that every girl Zane dated was after his money, but also hinted at me being a gold digger. Determined to set the record straight, I spoke up, expressing my disagreement. I defended Zane, highlighting his hard work to establish himself professionally, assuring them that he would continue to succeed. However, Molly and Michael dismissed my words, insisting that women were only interested in Zane for his financial status. I countered by reminding them that while we jointly owned the house, Zane would inherit it in the end. Despite my efforts, their prejudiced views persisted every time they visited our $200,000 house. "These girls, they just see dollar signs in their eyes," Michael muttered, his tone dripping with disdain. His words stung, casting a shadow over the atmosphere. "I'm not sure about his exes, but I'm not with him for money. I love your son, and that's why we're dating." "I want nothing to do with your house," I interjected, trying to assert my sincerity. Molly, attempting to pacify the tension, offered, "Don't worry, Claire. Sometimes it's hard to accept that people can be successful and live in nice houses. You only live in a small rented apartment, that too with roommates. After being around our house for a while, you will start wanting it too. It's just about time." Their words ignited a fire within me, fueling my fury. As we left, Zane remained silent, absorbing their criticisms without a word of defense. Confronting him later, I expressed my frustration. "Your parents are very mean people. They keep insulting both you and me. Why didn't you speak up?" Zane's response caught me off guard. "What did you want me to say, Claire? I'm not sure they are off the mark. Women in the past have used me to try and get some money from my parents. Mostly they made elaborate plans with the house and how it would be all ours when my parents passed away. His words resonated with a painful truth. Even if they were gold diggers, it doesn't mean I'm one too. You said nothing when your family insulted me as well. He countered, you know that my family is now well off, so there is a possibility that they're right about everything. I'm not saying you had bad intentions for sure, but I can see why it looks weird. You don't even have parents, so you have to rely on my inheritance alone. His accusations struck deep, but I refused to concede. What you are insisting is bizarre, Zane. I have never made you spend money on me. And even if I don't have an inheritance, that doesn't mean you can call me a gold digger. Yet Zane remained resolute in his beliefs, insisting that his love for me outweighed any suspicions. While his words might satisfy others, I couldn't shake the feeling of being misunderstood. I didn't want him to harbor such negative thoughts about me. I attempted to communicate with him, striving to make him understand the necessity of therapy, recognizing that he needed it. Unfortunately, he adamantly insisted that there was nothing wrong with him, causing me to eventually give up. Despite this, I distanced myself from his family over time. As years passed, we became engaged shortly after my college graduation. Working a decent job, albeit not highly paid, I began saving money to contribute to our wedding. We split the wedding costs evenly and tied the knot when I was 22. However, the following 3 years of my life turned into a nightmare. Zane frequently visited his parents' home and returned with a sour mood. I was aware that Michael and Molly continued to mock him and label me a gold digger. I urged Zane to reduce contact with them, believing they were poisoning his perception of our relationship. Despite my efforts, Zane persisted in communicating with his parents and accepting their unfounded doubts about my love for him. Exhausted from continually proving myself, the breaking point came on Zane's birthday. Opting for a small celebration at home, I gifted him the expensive watch he had long desired. Zane was thrilled with the present, and my initial joy waned when he suggested visiting his parents to show them the gift. Reluctantly accompanying him, Zane excitedly presented the watch to Molly and Michael. Look at this beautiful watch that Claire gave me. I've been wanting this for a while now. Isn't it beautiful? Molly chimed in with a patronizing tone. Oh, did she know, Zane? Looks like she does love you after all. We were pretty worried for a while there. Michael interjected. Don't get carried away, Zane. She's a gold digger. Married our son because we own a $200,000 house. Let's not forget the facts. Indignant, I responded, excuse me? Why do you think I married your son for your house? Michael continued, dismissing my words. Well, you were just living in an apartment after working for 4 years. Besides, Zane is so much older than you. Why would you marry him unless you want something from him? I'm sure our house was always an attraction, if not his money. I married your son because I love him. All your theories about my being a gold digger are baseless. Zane knows the truth, and he will tell you just that, right, Zane? I asserted, turning to Zane expectantly. To my astonishment, Zane remained silent, keeping his head down and avoiding eye contact. His lack of response sent a wave of discomfort through me. How could he stay silent in the face of such accusations? Feeling unsettled by my in-laws' perceptions and Zane's reaction, I couldn't contain my frustration. Why are you not saying anything? Your parents always thought I was a gold digger. How will they know the real me if you don't tell them? Why are you quiet? Tell them they're wrong. Zane's response was disheartening. I don't know what you want me to say, Claire. I don't know if my parents are off the mark. There might be a possibility that you are after this house. His words hit me like a blow. Even Zane entertained doubts about my intentions. I couldn't fathom it. Zane's parents chimed in, echoing his suspicions. He's not wrong to think like that. It's very suspicious that you never tried to buy a house. You don't even talk to him about buying a house. For someone who rents a place, buying a house should have been your priority. Their words cut deep, questioning my motives and choices. Yes, it is your priority. But you decided not to work for a house. You saw that our house is an expensive one. You can't afford to buy a place like ours, even if you try. So you decide to just marry Zane and settle here. That does make more sense to me. I mean, why would you marry me anyway, Claire? You might have feelings for me, but I think there's more to that than just love. I was left speechless after that exchange. All the love I held for Zane seemed to have evaporated, reduced to nothingness as my in-laws, and even my husband branded me a gold digger. While my in-laws' reaction stung, it was Zane's response that devastated me. In that moment, I made a pivotal decision. I wanted to file for divorce. I kept my decision to myself, waiting for the right moment. After Zane and I returned home, I contacted a lawyer and initiated the divorce proceedings. Zane remained oblivious, assuming I was just venting frustration. When the divorce papers arrived at my parents' house, I packed my belongings and left. Zane called in a panic, and I instructed him to come to an unfamiliar address, bringing my in-laws along. They arrived, bewildered by the grandeur of the house. You must be wondering why I brought you here. It's a beautiful house, isn't it? No one can even compare their house to this. This must cost millions. It's a mansion, I remarked, emphasizing the extravagance. Zane questioned the circumstances, puzzled by my access to such a property. I invited them inside to discuss matters further, disregarding their confusion about the porch. As they entered, they were awed by the opulence of the house. Seated, I made my intentions clear. I have come to a decision. That's why you're here. I filed for divorce. Here are the papers. We can agree to an uncontested divorce if you want. Their bafflement was palpable. What? I don't understand. Why did you file for a divorce? Because you and your parents think I'm a gold digger. You guys think I'm after your house, right? I confronted them, laying bare the reason behind my decision. I can assure you that's not true, but it seems you won't listen. So, I'll spare you the trouble of dealing with my alleged gold-digging self and proceed with divorcing Zane. That should make everyone happy. You're considering divorce just because my parents told the truth. You're being ridiculous. Yes, it's not like we said something wrong. Why do you need to do these theatrics? Zane's family retorted, bewildered by my decision. I think this is a good thing, Zane. If she's so insistent, you should sign the papers. At least then you'll find someone who loves you. They continued, attempting to reason with him. Why did you bring us to this house? Do you want me to buy you this as part of our divorce settlement? Zane asked, puzzled by my actions. Why would I buy this house? Zane, this house is already mine, I declared, met with shock and disbelief from everyone present. How the hell can you afford a house like this? You stay on rent and don't have a good enough job to afford this. Don't lie to us, Zane questioned, his family echoing his skepticism. I'm not lying, Zane. Remember how I told you that my parents left me some inheritance? Well, this is the house I talked about. It's under a trust now, but I will get the house once I turn 30. I don't work a good job because I have a trust fund waiting for me, I explained, revealing the truth. That's impossible. Your parents died way back. There's no way they didn't let you get the house sooner, they countered, struggling to comprehend. My parents were well aware of the leeches that I might attract, so they told me never to mention the house or trust fund to anyone. They left everything to a trust to keep it safe until I was 30. That way, I would be well settled with someone who I know won't benefit from my inheritance. I clarified, shedding light on my circumstances. Oh my God, Claire, you should have told us that you're rich. We had no idea. Damn, this is a big house you have got. We will all live so comfortably here, they exclaimed, their perspective shifting dramatically. Yeah, you should have told me that sooner. We thought you were after our house. We could have avoided all the misunderstanding, Zane admitted, regretful of the confusion. I knew that Claire was perfect for Zane. See, I have been telling you that she is a great woman. Look how rich she is. Zane really found a great match, his father remarked proudly. Hearing this, I chuckled. They had changed their stance about me so swiftly it made my head spin. What's more bizarre was that they soon forgot that I filed for divorce. I took out the divorce papers and gave my signature. As I was saying, here is my signature for an uncontested divorce. You can just sign these to make it easy. If you want to fight, we can take this up to court. I won't live with you anymore, I asserted firmly. Claire, listen to me. There's no need to rush this. You've already established that you're not a gold digger. Yeah, there's no reason to get a divorce anymore, Zane insisted, his family echoing his sentiments. Yes, Michael is right. We are sorry, Claire. We doubted you for no reason. They apologized sincerely, finally acknowledging the truth. I don't want your fake apologies, Zane. For 2 years, you let your family berate me and call me a gold digger. I expected you to at least stand up for me, but no. You just agreed with them and called me a gold digger as well. I refuse to stay with someone who doesn't even respect his wife. I'm done with you. We can do this the easy way or get the courts involved. The choice is yours. Zane, Molly, and Michael did their best to change my mind. They begged and pleaded with me to forget the past. In their minds, what they did was just a simple misunderstanding. Not once did they seem remorseful for dragging my name through the dirt. Their audacity had my blood boiling. When I finally had enough, I told them to get out before I called the police. My anger scared them off, so they left. In the next few weeks, Zane and my in-laws kept harassing me every day. They begged, pleaded, and even offered bribes to make me stay. These people thought I would change my mind for money. Their notion only fueled my rage. The fact is, since Zane co-owned their house with the in-laws, I was entitled to half of his share. That made them desperate for reconciliation. I remained firm in my decision to split. I moved all my things into my parents' house to live there. I would be alone, and even though I didn't have the ownership yet, I knew I could stay there anyway. Zane and the in-laws kept reaching out to me until I got a new number entirely. I didn't want them spamming me from unknown numbers. Zane did come to my work to talk. However, the security was informed about the situation and asked him to leave. Zane still hasn't signed the papers, hoping to change my mind. It's been almost a year since I filed for divorce. I only have to go through another year or less before the courts deem it appropriate for us to get divorced. It will happen even if Zane doesn't want to stay. So far, I'm doing pretty well for myself. Since being alone, I've become quite happy and have more money to spend on myself. I'm going out on dates, but not considering anything serious. I've heard from a cousin of Zane's that he and my in-laws are dreading me out of my entitled share of the house. Apparently, the lawyer fees were adding up, and they didn't have much in savings. The cousin believes that they would have to sell the house to bring in the money. Zane is also pushing for a sale because he is mad at his parents for ruining his life. I simply don't care anymore and just want to be free from that family.